So just be careful. In no way, shape, form of any way am I responsible for any injury or harm to oneself. So don't say Faith Riding Johnny told you to do this and this is why you ultimately did this. Don't even think about it. Motorcycle, once you have your gear, once you have pretty much the need to items, you need a place to ride. Where do I recommend riding? I recommend someplace that's level. I recommend a place that's flat, smooth, not a lot of potholes, not a lot of uneven surfaces in the road. An open place, I highly recommend an open parking lot. Something like this right here. Your local church is great. Your local supermarket is fine. As long as it's not a Walmart and it's busy 24/7, you'll be okay. So, let's get down to it and go over the basics of the motorcycle here. My weapon of choice today for the how-to ride for beginners is the 2014 Honda Grom. It's a 125cc bike. It's small. It has a clutch. It has a 4-speed transmission. Has all the normal components of a large bike, minus electronics and programming and stuff like that. But you still have a clock. You still have a trip meter, an odometer. The Grom is nice enough to have a fuel gauge. Some bikes don't have that. It's tiny. It's maneuverable. It's lightweight. It's easy to work. But all the aspects of the bike are just like a bigger bike. Now, if you have a Ninja 300, a Honda, what's the Honda? 250, I think. Maybe a Yamaha R3. You can still use the same techniques on those bikes. Those are great beginner bikes. They look amazing. The Honda Grom just is a ball of fun. It's got a little bit of modifications. Other than that, it's very similar to stock. It's the go-to bike to learn. I mean, I just feel like your 75-year-old grandma and or grandpa who have never ridden could ride one of these. Also, you're learning how to ride. This may or may not be your first bike. This is my second bike. I also have a Yamaha R6. I should have started the other way. I should have got this first, but it happens. But, you know, this may also be your first bike. Necessarily, it doesn't have to be a new bike. It could be an old bike, a used bike. Whatever the case may be, you want your first bike to be easy to maintain. You want to be able to work on it. When I say work on it, check the air, lubricate the chain, whatever it may be. Maybe if you want to get into start, you know, customizing your bike, you can change out some parts. The only modifications that's other than stock on this bike is the handlebars. The handlebar, I should say. The levers, which are very, very similar to stock, and my sprockets, and my pegs. Other than that, everything is identical to stock, and this video is going to be very, very easy to follow through as far as how to ride for beginners, or even people who ride already, but just maybe I have something that could help you, a technique or whatever it may be. So let's get to it. Let's get to riding. What should we start with first? So when you get on the bike, also quick note, before you go riding, it wouldn't hurt to check your air pressure, make sure everything's good, check your tire wear, check to make sure everything works, your levers, throttle, all that good stuff. Just kind of give a one over the bike before you hop on it, because if you store it or if you haven't ridden in a while, you never know what could happen. Flat tire, catastrophic failure could happen just because of something little. So when you go to get on the bike, you want to get on the kickstand side, which is the left side as you're riding. So let's get on it. You stand next to it, grabbing the handlebar on the left side wouldn't hurt either, and just throw your right leg over. And because the Grom is such a short bike, you can hop on it without having to necessarily even make any effort. And plenty of room, so you're not kicking nothing over. Not a big bike, so it's not very intimidating. And here you are. You're on the bike. Wouldn't hurt to go ahead and put your other hand on the handlebar, and you're here. Let's go over the controls. I'm going to move my phone just for the sake of visibility. So let's start with the left side. Let's just work left to right. Let's do that. Not as exciting, but we'll get to it. So starting with the left side, you just have your handlebar, your hand grip here for your left hand as you're riding. No control here, nothing pretty much exciting other than the forward lever, which is your clutch, which engages and disengages the clutch. You have your high beam and low beam switch. I recommend always riding with your high beam. Some states require you have your high beam on. It's no question for me. This thing's so little. I want to make sure people see me, and even on my big bike, I always burn my high beams. Next, you have your horn. This guy is just like a car horn. You just hit it with your thumb there. Next, right below that, you're going to have your blinkers. To blink left, to turn left, I should say, you just, let me get the GoPro a little bit better. You have two little arrows here. You click left to go left, it'll blink. To turn off the blinkers, you have to push in. That's kind of new for some people. I know when I started riding motorcycles, I was like, how do I turn this off? I don't understand. To turn right, you push right with your thumb. You are turning to the right, blinker engaged to the right. To turn it off, you just click it. That's it. So pull to go left, push to go right. Kind of whichever way you want to turn, that's the way the blinker is going to turn. So pretty self-explanatory on that. Another view of the horn, another view of the high beam and low beam, and then a pretty solid view of your clutch. You guys, do whatever's comfortable. There's no right or wrong way to pull a clutch in. There's really not. If you use your whole hand, you'll get a full pull. You'll get a full disengagement. You can bring it almost on most all bikes. Bring it all the way to the handlebar. You guys do what feels comfortable. When I'm riding, I might pull with one finger, might even do it with two. About 50%, 75% of the time, if I'm not doing wheelies or something stupid, I use my whole hand. Whole hand, release, and then I'm on the handlebar. Do what's comfortable. There's no right or wrong way. I'm probably going to get told there is a right or wrong way. You pull in the lever to disengage the clutch. Pretty self-explanatory. Now, let's keep on going. Let's keep on going on over here. In the center, and this is going to be for most bikes, you're going to have the ignition on the triple clamp, or right there where the gauges are. Simply to turn it on, you click turn it to on. It'll start up. You want to make sure you're neutral. We'll get to that in a second. And you're ready to go. As long as the neutral light's on, kickstand down, you can start the bike. Now let's go ahead and do that. We move on over. So here is our main controls. You've got your throttle for your right hand. Twist back to go, twist forward to stop. However you want to, you can modulate the throttle however you like, depending on the condition. But you should be able to open it and let go, and it should close no problem. If it sticks, there is an issue somewhere you need to address and get that fixed immediately, because that can cause serious harm or danger to you, yourself, or somebody else. Secondly, we have our kill switch. Right now it's in the off position, so if I hit the starter button, which is that guy right there, if I was to hit that, it's not going to start. Imagine that. Okay, that's just to keep you from causing harm to yourself. That's also to turn the bike off as a second way to the ignition. You can turn your bike off however you like. Again, no right or wrong. Do what's comfortable. If you're first starting out riding, probably the kill switch is going to be more comfortable because you're not having to fight with the ignition, depending on your setup, and that's pretty easy. I have heard you don't ever want to leave it in that position because it can drain your battery, supposedly. I'm not going to get into the logistics or statistics of that, but that's what I've heard, and I always leave mine there. Now, before we turn it on, this is your brake lever. Now, you guys will probably see me normally using one finger. The reason for that is I want to have a little bit more control of the throttle. You can use 2. I don't recommend a full hand just because you may or may not need to modulate the throttle. It's just, again, do what's comfortable. I do 1 finger. You can do 2 fingers. 3 fingers are weird because my pinky isn't even on the throttle, so that would make no sense. 2 fingers, you get a solid pull, and your other 2 fingers are on the throttle, just in case. If you need to back off and grab it, you know, you always want to keep your hands on the handlebars. Maybe cover the levers if you have an emergency or if you're coming to a stop. Again, we'll get into that. But do what's comfortable. 2 fingers is really solid. 1 finger, I like 1 finger just because it's a little bit more comfortable for me. I have more control of the bike. And realistically, guys, I'm only using my fingertips if I'm getting to that point, because just kind of my track experience and riding experience, that's really all you need. It's very, very effortless to pull that in. You know, you can put your whole finger around it, but you lose a little bit of that throttle control. So let's get into starting the bike. Also, one thing, when you guys get ready to you know, park your bike somewhere, maybe someplace private or someplace public. You don't want anybody coming up and taking your bike off like this. I mean, this is a Grom. Somebody could take it and I'd never see it again. But, I mean, you can also pick the bike up. I don't know what this would keep people from doing, maybe just ride on it. But what you'll do is when you're ready to turn the bike off, or maybe it's already off, depending on your situation, you'll just click the key to ignition off. And then to lock the steering column, to keep the steering column from turning, this is kind of like when you lock the steering wheel in a car. Handlebars all the way to the left, and I'm pretty sure this is for every model bike. You push the key down, turn the key all the way over, counterclockwise, pull the key out, it's locked. I cannot physically move the handlebars any more than that. So that's kind of an anti-theft device. You would have to literally pick this bike up, put it in the back of a truck, take it to a shop, take the whole bike apart, drill out the ignition. Some people are crazy enough to do it, but a thief is a thief. He's always going to be a thief, so there's really kind of no way of really preventing a thief from stealing your personal items. But that's kind of a theft deterrent, a theft prevention, if you will. Let's go over the kickstand. This is the kickstand. This keeps the bike from A, falling over, and B, when you get ready to park it, that's what you use right there. Also, you have on your left side as well, you have your gear shifter. On the Grom, it is 1 down and 3 up, so a total of 4 gears. So when you pull in the clutch, you push down or pull up, however you want to say that, and it'll engage it into a gear. First, second, third, fourth. We're gonna get into that. Be patient. On the right side, you have your rear brake. Now, with my experience and my riding technique style, if you will, this is kind of only if I need to use it in an emergency situation. Not necessarily do I use it all the time, no. But if I need to emergency brake, my foot's covering it anyway. It's there to be used if you have to use it. So I'm saying don't use it, but use it when necessary. Just kind of get a feel for it, just like you will with the front brakes and everything like that, and go from there. Oh, just ate some McDonald's. All right, here we go. Let's go riding. I'm going to put my phone on my thing because just in case I may need it or someone calls me, emergency, I have it here. If you guys have one of these, I recommend don't using it on the go. This is a great tool if you have Bluetooth on your helmet, you're listening to the radio, maybe you're intercepting phone calls. But if you ever have to use your phone, please pull over, please stop, and make sure you use it as you're not riding, because riding a motorcycle is already dangerous enough. You do not need any more distractions. This is only here to connect to my Bluetooth, to listen to music. If I need to receive a phone call on the fly, I can hit the side of my helmet on my Bluetooth, make phone calls, intercept them. But don't let this be a distraction. use your toys and utilities very, very cautiously and responsibly. Also, this is a great tool in case you need to use it in need of an emergency. Now, let's get to going. Let's go riding.
They don't know about us. 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 They think we dumb, diddy dumb.